Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast. We eat sandwiches and play games. Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast. A podcast for everyone's taste.
Welcome to the Taste of Dragons, the Toddcast, the video game podcast that all Paradise Planners listen to. On this week's episode, your dragons unleash their love for Animal Crossing's newest DLC. Video games make it to the Grammys. And for the first time in nearly 1,000 days, we have a guest. Straight off their 3-week run at Camelot Days, we interview Rick Shellene. Without further ado, let's jam. My name is Amanda.
My name's Troy.
I'm Brian.
I'm Hassel.
And I'm Joe. Before we dive into the games, the sandwiches, and the shenanigans, let's begin with a question. This week's question comes to us from Neurotic SFB of Durham, North Carolina. Neurotic asks, what's your unhealthiest video game? What game have you binged in one setting or played for way, way too long?
Oh, gosh.
I think we already got Troy's last week when he was talking about Assassin's Creed 2.
Assassin's Creed 2. I don't even want to know what I smelled like. Like, we're talking, I had to get it into the mail by Saturday to have it in one sitting. So that's a Thursday to Saturday day.
We already heard that story.
Yeah.
Do you have another unhealthy video game? Maybe a Clash Royale or a...
I'm sorry. Do you have a healthy video game for me, Amanda?
Yes, I do.
I think she has a strong opinion on which, or suggestion of which one it is.
I would call Clash Royale the tower offense iOS game less of an unhealthy binge and more like an unhealthy addiction.
Okay.
Because I've learned to balance it. It used to be a binge. Sure. It's a game you can pick up anytime.
Yeah.
Play for as long as you need to. The microtransactions don't stop the fun of the game, which is perfect.
Yeah.
Don't let that mess you up. But every time I say, no, I'm good, I can only go, I don't know. The longest I've made it is maybe 6 months before I open it up again and play. You're right. I haven't been able to delete Clash Royale off of my phone for the last, 2016, 5 years since it's been out.
Yeah.
It's supported. It has good updates. They released new characters. It's rewarding. Their season pass is, you can buy it. It's like $5 and it actually does real good, meaningful things. Wow, I have a problem. I am.
It's a good thing you already got that ring, Manda. I don't know if you get it with Clash Royale.
Here's the good thing. I play that game so much that I do the season pass every once in a while now. And with that, you pretty much get like a boost for about 2 weeks. And once that boost is over, the game is considerably less fun to play.
Okay.
So I did do that boost this month for the first time in like a year. And it was fantastic. Couldn't stop playing it everywhere. My bad. But after those 2 weeks, now I'm just like, cool. Maybe I'll do it again next month.
It's definitely the game where I'm like, Troy, what do you want to have for dinner? And then I just hear Clash Royale music, and then I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna bother. I'll just go eat some food.
When Clash Royale pops on, it has like this little. It shows the makers, and it goes ding or ding. So it's very easy to recognize when I'm booting it up. And I'm sorry for the amount of times you've probably like ingrained that little jingle.
It's the anti-Zelda opening up a chest. Like it's just closing. Yeah.
I'm gonna go read a book.
It's a good game though. It's still good.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is gambling a game?
Yeah, man. Gambling's a game.
I mean, depending on the game, that is the entire game for some of them.
Gambling's how you can make things that aren't games.
Oh, man.
That is gamifying life.
Yeah.
I might have a problem.
Oh, no. What is it?
If it's gambling, there are a lot of good options for you.
There are.
Right.
There are.
No,
you can switch it up.
One of the biggest things when I moved to New Jersey is I found out that sports gambling is legal here in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't have a problem. I have it very much under control. I want to let you guys know that off the bat right away.
That's what they always say when they have a problem.
Is that a Twitch that I see?
No, I could quit at any time. Okay? I'm in full control. But now that we're talking about, guilty pleasure games or like a game that, you can't really put down, mine is also iOS. Mine is Rumikube on iOS.
What?
So my parents
Rummikub.
introduced me to this on our
Rummikub.
Yeah. My parents introduced me to this when we were at home, like down in Florida, over the summer. And I have not been able to stop playing it. Like, it's gotten so bad that before I go to bed, I'm like, okay, I'm going to play a couple of rounds, right? And then I'm a very hot sleeper. So, like, you know, Genevieve is sleeping next to me, and I don't necessarily like cuddling, but I'll put an arm around her. So I'll put my arm around her, and then she's like, your other arm is playing Rummikub, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I don't want these half hugs.
I don't want your patronizing cuddles.
Yeah.
This is a pity cuddle.
I'm gonna share you with Rummikub.
Yeah.
Is that multiplayer? Like, could we play?
It's an online multiplayer.
I like Rummikub.
Troy and I are very good at Rummikub.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Oh.
I haven't done it on my phone though, but we only played with tabletop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amanda's way better than me though. She's really good.
I did play a lot growing up.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's been my vice. Like, I can't put it down.
Maybe we'll have a Taste of Dragons Rummikub tournament.
Yes, for real money, right?
If you would like to get into our Taste of Dragons Rummikub tournament, drop into our Discord. Let us know if you're also a Rummikub champion.
I would love to be the bookie, so I am your friendly neighborhood bell shark.
And if anyone asks, we all live in New Jersey.
Yeah,
All of us.
Yeah.
Everyone in our Discord
What do
is
you guys
also
call New Jersers?
New Jersers.
New
We are
yeah.
New Jersers.
New Jersey.
Hassel, my bad ears misheard you and thought you said Rummikub, and I imagined like you're a roommate with a cube. And that was like a game.
Like the cube from Portal.
Or just any cube. It's just you wake up, you're like, hey, cube. And it's like making coffee. I don't know. It's like a dating sim.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What about you, Joe?
They're real square, though.
I live in a world where all of the games I play are completely unhealthy. So I don't even know where to begin as to which game to tell you guys about that I've spent 1,000 hours playing for no reason.
Dr. Mario.
You think that?
I'm gonna go with Dr. Mario. I'm just gonna go with Dr.
Okay.
Mario
I'll take it.
because Dr. Mario is the constant. You do have blips where you're like Pokemon Pinball, and you have a couple of other
That's
things.
true.
Dr. Mario is the one that has existed for our entire relationship.
It's the constant.
It's the constants.
It
It is
is.
the thing that you always go back for. You
It's
always
true.
reach for it.
And I will spend hours and hours and hours playing that at night when I should be sleeping. And I only know I need to stop when my eye starts to twitch because it's not enough of the light.
When you have to actually go see a real doctor is when you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, just turn the light off and go to sleep for a few hours and you can wake up and you can play Dr. Mario again. So it's fine.
There you go.
I just had to find a real doctor named Mario. That way, like, hey, we're gonna get the new Dr. Mario, and then
I would be
we
so
just
excited.
walk into. It's gonna be like the vet with the dog. Just hey, look, we're going.
And I'll be like, no. And I'm like, I gotta get out of here. They're gonna take my Dr. Mario away.
Yeah, that is definitely like,
I'll take your word for it.
It's
I don't
hours
know.
upon hours. Every single system you've ever had, you've had it on.
Well, I have to. That's the whole point.
Well, there you
I
go.
mean, they're
So
there
that's
for Dr.
an
Mario.
unhealthy obsession.
Is that unhealthy? I feel like it's just like knowing what you want.
I can only think of one track. Does Dr. Mario have a robust soundtrack?
It
Or
has
is it
about-
just that one? Like
It has 4 or 5. It's like Tetris. It's got 4 or
Okay,
5 that are
okay.
the constants. It's got Fever. It's got Chill. And those are the 2 that
Whoa.
everybody knows.
Okay, I need to diversify my Dr. Mario.
It's got some
Music
absolute
library.
bangers on there.
It
sure
does.
it does.
It does. It
I
really
used to
does.
listen to them while I was building cubes at work.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's meta.
Yeah.
What about you, Brian?
For myself, the most unhealthy one I've ever had before was Counter-Strike in 1999, 2000. I was really good at it, but it was so unhealthy. It was one of those not that I really did homework anyways, but I really didn't do homework when I was into that. I would get home from school and I would immediately just start playing that up until I should have been sleeping for several hours already. And then I was still just playing that. I was on a competitive team. We were in tournaments. We were doing all this other stuff. And I forget where at what point it was, but I remember it was maybe about a year into this, maybe a year and a half of me playing Counter-Strike, where we were in practice for a tournament and I was playing and I was like, it is 8:00 on a Wednesday and I haven't done anything in so long. And this is not that it's for nothing, but it's for nothing. I need to stop. And I did. I just stopped. I was a world ranked player. I was heavily into Counter-Strike and I was just like, no, I gotta I gotta check myself. This is not good.
Brian, you're one of the lucky ones.
I know.
There are people that still haven't woken up yet. This is like the Matrix.
I feel like if I was earning money, it would have happened. But because it was in a time of esports where there really was no esports,
Right.
it would just. I think if I was that age now, and I still had that same skill level now, I would definitely still be doing that because I would be on a team. You know, I'd be attempting to earning money to do this. Whereas back then, it really was just I'm not doing anything else except for playing this game for nothing. I gotta stop.
Well, you know how you could make some money off of it.
Oh, how is that?
You could just,
Jersey
you know,
Bookies. That's going to be the name of this episode, Jersey Bookies.
Jersey Bookies, yeah.
I think mine's actually very similar to yours. Not that I got out for the same reasons, but it was definitely bad for the same reasons. Is when I played Guild Wars. I played Guild Wars till like 4:30 in the morning on a school night. It was like, oh, just one more thing. It's definitely like not great for my grades.
Yeah, was that like was that when it first came out, or was it a little while after? Like, how long were you playing Guild Wars for?
I definitely played the original game, but I also got a lot of the expansions.
Gotcha.
I think I was there till they had their last expansion.
Oh, okay.
And then there was the break, and then I played Guild Wars 2. And I really enjoyed it. Obviously, I really enjoyed it. And I had a guild, and it was nice because
You went to war with them.
we went to war. I had multiple characters. I was just deep into an MMO, and it wasn't great.
Yeah, and it was
For
very
my
easy
social
to
life.
do because also that was one of the few MMOs that actually it was one of the first that didn't have a subscription fee for it.
Yes.
Once you bought it, you could just play it for however long you wanted to play it for. And so that's probably really great for you back in those days because
No
you
worries.
just bought it once. Yeah.
And that was in the age where grindiness was okay.
Yeah.
Like, you were expected to grind. So it would be like, oh, no. So I felt not only like I wanted to play, but like I had to play. It's like, no, if I don't get I don't remember anymore. For Jade Emeralds today, that I'm going to be behind on my goal to get 55 by the end of the summer, so I can get that gauntlet that matches the rest of my armor, which also took me months and months to acquire.
Man, early MMOs. What a magic time.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
But thank you everyone for your video game confessions. I definitely won't be using them for blackmail later on in our friendship.
Damn it. We're married.
I'm glad I didn't do my real one. That's what I'm saying. Anyways.
Troy, how can the good listeners at home get in touch with us if they want their own question featured on Taste of Dragons?
Yeah, check it out, y'all. You know, after you finish listening to this podcast, head on over to our Discord channel. From there, you can check out our podcast discussion. If you have a burning question for us dragons to answer, whatever it is, pop it into our podcast discussion channel there, and we will answer it. You can also talk about all the things you hear on this podcast. Were we wrong about something? Let us know. Were we right about something? Let us know. I don't know if you want to like, you know, some company. Talk. That's fine too. We're friendly. Come on, get on over. We also have a gallery of cooking images in our cooking channel, and we're just constantly discussing all things video games. So link is in the description. Go ahead, click on it now.
Thank you, Troy.
You're welcome.
And with that, we're moving right along to our next segment, which is What Are You Playing? What Are You Playing is the segment where we analyze one of the many video games that we played this year. This week's game is something I think we've all played.
A little bit. Just a little bit. Off and on.
Well,
It is-
I mean, yeah, dabbled.
It is Animal Crossing Happy Home Paradise Planning, which is the longest name for a video game like ever.
Ever.
I mean, I don't want to correct you, so we're not.
Oh, is it? Is it
No,
not?
no, it's a very long name. It's
Animal
definitely the longest
Crossing
name
Happy Home
for.
Paradise Planning.
There are some game names that are just
Oh no,
ridiculous.
It isn't the longest name,
Yeah.
but it is definitely.
It's definitely the longest of the Animal Crossings.
It is definitely so long that I had to Google it for this podcast because I'm just calling it the Animal Crossing DLC because I can't be bothered.
That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine.
I guess just to start us out, has everyone played the DLC?
Yes, we've all dabbled, I think, a little bit, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the DLC is also like wrapped into that huge update that we talked about.
Right.
So while I have played a lot of new content in Animal Crossing that in my mind is technically like DLC, I've only started the Happy Home Cat Paradise Planning Valley today.
I also am in that boat where I only started playing, and I keep calling it Happy Home Designer. So like I've only started doing that, and I'm on my very first, like, this person, help their house thing. And I'm like, I don't This is literally the opposite of what I do in Animal Crossing. I don't design things for other animals.
Yeah, I'm not a designer
I design
either.
the island's flowers. I'm here for foliage. You know, like I'm not.
You mean you got the tattoo? It says right there.
Right,
I'm here for foliage.
You know, flora is my jam.
We got that new glowing moss.
I love it.
Vines,
I love it.
And,
Yeah. That's partially why I started doing it, because I was talking to everybody throughout the weeks, and it really, to get enough moss to make my glowing moss pond, I needed to go do that, because like you need like 30 of them, and it's a lot.
So Amanda, I think you've
Yes.
probably played it more than the rest of us. What is this Paradise Planning Valley? What do you do in it?
So for those of you who haven't seen the new DLC for Animal Crossing, is you arrive at your island and then they're like, congratulations, you can now have a job, which is confusing because I thought I already had a job.
What have I been doing for last year and a half?
So they'll fly you over to this archipelago where they have like a vacation design center. So you're going to work for Lottie, this adorable sea otter, and she's going to introduce you to clients, or later in the game you'll introduce yourself to clients, and then you'll talk about what they want in a house, and then you'll design their house for them.
Okay.
So they'll give you like a plot of land, you decide what's outside, and then you'll go into the house and then design the interior.
And is it just freedom? Like you can design it however you want?
You can design it however you want, and you have all of the items for that house and then any house you've designed before that. So it's both like a design game, but it's also, you're kind of collecting things. So you want to do like a combination of different styles so you get more things to work with.
I like that idea.
And each character will ask for something different. And what I actually really liked about it is you're not just designing homes. That's what I thought it was, because that's kind of how it used to be. It's like, hey, I want a cool house, or I want a cute house. And it was like, oh, I can only make so many like stylized bedrooms.
Yeah.
But this one's actually a little more interesting, because like at least the ones I've done, is like someone was like, I want a tea house, or I want a picnic, or I want a recording studio. And there were some that were like, oh, I just want someplace cozy to sit by the fire. So they're a little more diversified than I had thought they would be. So you design the thing and then they give you money.
Okay.
Did everybody get the same first house to design? Is that the way that the game is designed? Because the first one that I designed was a reading room.
Yes, that with the
Yeah.
elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the character changes.
I got an elephant.
I got an elephant as well.
I don't remember if mine was an elephant now that I'm thinking about it. I may not have even paid attention to what the villager was and just been like, okay, I'll just do this thing because I need moss and I need to polish things and I got no time.
You could say the character's irrelevant.
There it is. There it is.
We got jokes.
I'll be here all week. No, I thought, playing it for the first time, I think I was too one of those people that got kind of like lost in everything that you could do.
Yeah.
So I was just like, there is so much stuff, like ordinances, which I still haven't set up. And then at the same time, two of my people, because I haven't been in my town for a while, two of my people are just like, hey, we're thinking about going. And I was like, bye. And
There are
so,
too
like,
many new characters for you to stick around here.
Exactly. So like I spent all of this time like looking for, some of the new characters. By the way, I didn't get any of them, which is terribly
That's just
disappointing.
sad.
But, yeah.
I've seen more of the new characters in Paradise Planning than I have seen on the islands. So
Yeah.
I don't know if there's something new you have to do, but like I saw Marlo, which is the new hamster on the island, and I've seen a few
yeah,
more,
Marlo.
but I haven't, like when I needed new people, they haven't shown up yet. Or I haven't
Yeah.
seen them in my campgrounds either.
I've seen one of the new ones at a campground. I don't remember the name of it, but it was one of those like, I don't know you. Who are you? And then I looked it up and it was one of the new ones. But that was like literally day 1 or day 2. That's when I had people at my campsite probably every 3 or 4 days when the DLC dropped. And I was like, what is going on here? And I realized I wasn't talking to my villagers. So somebody wanted to move and I just wasn't asking them. So the game was like, hey, there's somebody at the campsite. You should probably let someone go. I'm like, no, I want to keep mine. I like them. I don't want them to go yet. And then a few of them have asked and I'd be like, no, you have to stay. Cute little reindeer Eric. You can't go.
I have my mains, and then I have like 2 rotators where I'm just like, whoever goes in there, I don't care. I'll say yes to anybody, I'll say no to anybody, but just so I can get them through and see if I like someone.
I feel like the two people that I was most attached to, one of them left and I felt so bad. And then the other one is Apollo, who will never leave my island at this point.
That's the eagle, right?
That
Yeah,
is
that's
Apollo
the eagle. Yeah.
Yep.
So I spent all of this time like looking for Cephalobot, like literally just like selling all of my worldly possessions for Nook Miles tickets. And
Is that the octopus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
That was a robot.
The
octopus.
robot
The-
octopus.
The Robotolips.
Roboctopus.
Yeah, Roboctopus.
Nope, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Roboctopus.
Roboctopus. There we go. That's what it is.
Roboctopus.
Robo.
Nope.
Yeah.
I tried to stop beforehand.
Moving on. So back to Paradise Planning. In addition to designing homes, they like Joe mentioned, they have some new features that are out that are really cool.
Yes. The polishing of things is really, really cute.
Wait, what's that mean?
I ended up with a polishing like stick or whatever. Like it's like looks like a little mop. But it showed up in my Nooks and I bought it and I was like, yes, I don't have to go over there yet. I can start polishing things. You cannot polish anything unless you go do the happy home
And it's
area.
like you have to do like 4 houses or something like that. They don't just give it to you.
It's not quick.
Well, what does
So
polishing do?
It makes all of the things. So if you decide to polish your furniture or polish things in your house, it makes them sparkle. And depending on how much you've done this for other characters and how many houses you've done, the amount of sparkle it's a lot or it's a little. And it's kind of like, remember when we were doing the watering brigade things and you'd have more than one person water your flowers and the amount of sparkle would be different?
Yeah.
It's like that, only depending on how much you yourself have already helped other animals out and build houses and help them. So it's insane, the amount of sparkle you can get off things. So you can walk into your house and be like, whoa, and it's like the ta-da is happening everywhere in your house. You're like, why is everything so shiny? It's really cool.
I won't spoil this for the people who don't have it yet, but the more you play, the more that changes. They give you more. There's like
that's
different.
The thing
Yeah.
that
That's pretty cool.
Implementing, not getting into the DLC yet, because just like with Animal Crossing proper, like you have to put in like days worth of time. No matter how much you play, you just have to keep kind of going back and putting more in to unlock the rich, full experience that you get. And the fact that this DLC's or this whole update in DLC has been out for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
I feel so behind because I haven't done any of that Paradise.
I'm like
yet.
2 weeks behind with all of it, and watching what everybody else was saying was really helpful, especially when I did start doing it. But it was still one of those like, I don't have time for this. I've got so much farming and like things that I'm doing, like
playing two
like,
hours every day.
Yeah, and I have to visit Cap'n. I realized I was only taking my Cap'n tours for like at nighttime, at like 1 a.m. when I was going to bed, and like so I'm starting my every day. It was always at night. So I woke up early the other day and I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm awake during the day. I'm going to go take a Cap'n tour during the day and see if he brings me to a nighttime island.
It was very funny.
He's like, you don't like daytime.
It's like,
I
what
got
are
you
you
this
doing
night
there?
island.
It
That's
was a
right.
star island. I thought that was all.
Oh, the Star Islands are cool.
I hadn't seen one in person yet, and I was like, "This is super cool." There's like stars happening, and like, it was really neat. You hit the rocks, and you get all the star fragments that I didn't get throughout some of the year or didn't have enough of. It was super cool. So like, as soon as I realized I was doing that, I was like, I really got to jump into Paradise Planning because I have so much information that I kind of understand that if I start now and at least kind of get that into the process, it's still hard to do.
Even if you're not playing Paradise Planning, I would still recommend going to the island every day, because on the shoreline, like your main island, there's a DIY every day, and those are all new.
Even at the Paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Paradise
Yeah.
Planning. So the ones that I've gotten are like ruins and vine recipes, because that's what's on the island. But I imagine that there'll be more and more.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I only was getting those from Cap'n Islands, and I luckily was just getting them from Cap'n Islands, so I ended up with like the vine bench and like the glowing moss pond, and I was like, this is really cool. And I was talking to Red Link the Hero, a friend of the podcast, and he was like, you really need to go to Paradise Planning. Like, you really need to go, because that's where all of them are. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't have time. It just takes so long. And I'm going to be on the plane. It's like, it takes like 5 seconds. This is so stupid. But I'm like, then I got a Harv's Island, and I go to Captain's Island, and I got to do all my work. I don't have time for this. He's like, really? The only way you're getting those DIYs. I'm like, wait, what? DIYs? Go on.
They did do something nice though. So if you're already in like a rotation, if you're at Harv's Island, you can go directly to Paradise Planning. You don't have to like go home and get back on a plane. If you can get there by plane, you can do that circle.
Oh, that's
which
cool.
is nice. Yeah.
That's really nice.
It was something I didn't realize until much further in.
There's another
if you're-
thing I 100% forgot about. Harv's Island. Like, I gave one of those, like, gyroids the money they needed to go ahead and bring in the fortune teller, right? And
Yeah.
100% forgot about it. Haven't been there since.
She's really cool.
I go every day.
Yeah.
Just to see if the wares have changed, because some of them change at different points in the week. And Katarina,
Yes.
right?
The cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fortune teller.
teller.
You should see her every day, because if you and hope that she gives you a bad fortune, because if you pay her to give you to cleanse your fortune, she'll send you something cool in the mail the next day, and your next day will be
awesome.
guaranteed good luck.
I love what they've done with Harb's Island, where before this big expansion, it was just a place you go inside his house and you take photos, and it was kind of weird, you know. Or for people that really wanted to get into the minutia of Animal Crossing and stage, you know, Hamilton musicals and stuff in there.
Yeah,
It was cool.
Very cool. But I never really used it because it wasn't my bag. Now that they've turned it into like a bazaar or like a marketplace, and you have these different, I almost call them food trucks without food.
Caravans.
Caravans.
Yeah.
And you invest this money, and then they kind of have these little shops open up. That was great. It makes me want to go see Harv, which before I was actively trying to avoid him.
Oh, yeah.
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 Get your bell bottoms away from me, sir.
I don't need this.
But him
You
with
hippie.
with the shampoodle, like him with her makes
Bart,
me
yeah.
the two of them together are beyond adorable.
Harriet.
Harriet, thank
There
you.
we go, yeah.
Like
The
she,
shampoodle.
well, no, that was the name of her shop.
Her shop, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was the
that's
shampoodle.
great.
But she seeing her with him, and they're always like either hanging out outside their house or they're hanging out and they're like having tea or
Yes.
something. It's like, oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. Harv, you were like really weird and creepy, and
But
now you're not. Now you're just so
now-
cute.
She
Yes.
humanizes him a lot.
She does.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Instead of him just being on an island by himself all the time because, you know, nobody else wants to be near him. Oh, no. He actually, you know, somebody actually can stand him.
Can vouch
All right.
for him.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's cool. He's weird, but don't worry.
It's
Everyone's
fine.
got that
It's fine.
friend. Harmless.
Also, he's very much the type of guy that you would not necessarily want to go in his house, but I would hang out by a campfire and
Oh,
have a drink with you.
right?
Like, I would just...
In a
yeah.
campfire with a lot of people that all are around selling their wares.
Awake.
It's awake, and this is
Right.
all good.
And
this is exactly
you
how.
always have your drink in front of you. And
A hundy. One of the reasons why I stopped playing Animal Crossing Prime was because of Red's stuff. The art dealer that sells you fake art once in a while. A great concept, but I didn't like the way he didn't come very often. So this fixes that. This expansion puts Red into that Harb's Island, and I go every day. I don't even care if I'm getting bad stuff because at least it's like active. I'd rather be told that's fake than just not get anything at all.
Agreed.
And it still
is-
be fake.
And it's,
Yeah.
and it still be fake.
Yep.
And it's definitely reinvigorated. I feel like I've picked up where my excitement for the game has picked up where I left it.
Yeah, the one thing I don't like about that, though, is that if you buy something that you already have in your museum, you can't get it appraised to see if it's real or not. Even though, you know, you can look at it
Well,
you know,
you can-
online.
So if you have two
can
real
sell
ones,
it.
it doesn't work?
Yeah, you
No,
have
he
no
tells
idea.
you.
I've tried to like because I can't donate it because I've
Yeah,
already
yeah.
have it there. I can't assess fossils because it's not a fossil.
You can
And
sell it.
You could, yeah, I guess.
No,
you could,
the Nooklings don't buy art if it's fake.
Oh,
the
if it's
Nooklings
fake.
won't buy art if it's fake.
If it's
Okay.
real.
So if it's fake, I could have swore he told you it was still fake.
Listen.
Because I have tons of stuff and I
Yeah.
have him check them every single time. And he goes, "Oh, sorry, this is fake."
But it may, if it's real and you have two of them, then it may just be that you can't get rid of it because the game doesn't know
Right.
what to do.
Yeah,
So
maybe that's all
just
I can think
send it
of.
to
Yeah.
somebody.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
send it
that's
to
what I
somebody.
do. I just hang on to all the
Yeah.
artwork.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
Or what I do, I go to Captain's Island and just dump.
all of your stuff you don't
Yeah,
want anymore.
man. Hey, there's no Greenpeace in this in Animal
wait a
Crossing
second.
universe.
Does that mean somebody at some point, like in this imaginary world, is gonna hop on Cap's boat? They're gonna head to an island and be like, "Why is all this trash over here? What happened?"
Fake art and dirty socks.
Yeah.
This is such a nitpick because like Animal Crossing is not meant to be real, but I am a little sad that the purpose of going to the island is to strip them of all their natural
Yep.
resources, leave the junk you don't want, and then leave. Like it would be nice if they had a mechanic that was like, oh, maybe you could clean up an island and plant some stuff. And
Sounds
then
like
come
you're
back.
the only
Yeah.
human in that universe to me. That's what that sounds like to me.
I'm in that exact same place, Amanda. Every time I destroy
Like,
some
aw.
ecosystem, I'm like, I'm taking everything from you,
Yes.
and I'm leaving you with nothing. The bugs have nowhere to go.
Take the bugs too.
Only the fish are happy here.
Here is how we got Rossetti in the game. Rossetti changed professions. He's no longer into like rescue and all that stuff. Now Rossetti is in charge of like eco, like disposal
Conservation.
stuff like that.
I
Like
love-
conservation.
I love this idea.
Yeah, Rossetti's like, let me tell you about the Green New Deal.
Yeah. Like you dump something in an island and Rossetti comes out and is like, "Oh, hey, buddy. Is that yours? Let me teach you something." And then the screen goes blank for a little bit, and then you have like $100,000 less or 100,000 bells less.
You just get fined.
Yeah.
You leave all the stuff in one of the islands, like you come back in a week, and the water level has risen a little bit. It's like, yeah, because you did that.
This is too real.
The long game.
I like the idea you just drop things on the island like DIYs or something, and the island recognizes that as like trash, even if you drop it there intentionally. But I like that it's there for like 2 days, and then Rossetti shows up and he's like, "Is this yours?" And you're like, "Yes." He's like, "You don't think you should pick it up?" And I'm like, "No, I meant it for me.
It's like, no,
Leave me
look,
alone."
I can't sell it. The owl won't take it. I don't want the slots in my inventory or my storage.
Oh, but what if
So here's where
Rossetti
it
took the
stays.
things you couldn't sell otherwise, but it was like a serious thing? Like, hey, if I delete it, this is gone.
That'd be fine.
That'd be cool.
That's all I'm looking for. There's no way to get rid of my fake art.
Nintendo, listen to us in this moment.
Right now.
You can put it in the trash can.
The recycling bin?
Yeah.
The trash can, not a recycling bin. A trash
What's a
can.
trash can?
You buy a trash can from the
Yeah.
Nooks, and you leave the trash can out, and then you put it in the trash can. You can throw
I
anything in the
had
trash can.
no idea.
And it is not okay to do with lots of things because, like, it's gone. You put it in there, and the game doesn't warn you.
Yeah.
The game
Oh.
makes it clear when you buy the trash can, and then when you go to throw things in there, it's like, hey, you sure you want to do that? Because you can't get it back. And it's like a really nice, simple message. And it's like, no, like really,
Like, for real.
This is gone.
like it's gone. When you hit this A button, the trash can's closed, and there is no opening it back up. It's done.
I don't think there's anything you can't get back, though, is there?
I mean,
If you technically the stuff
You
from
can rebuy
Gulliver would take forever to
Yeah,
get
'cause
another
you'd
one
have to
of
get the
because you have to
rotation.
do the rotation
Yeah.
of it,
Yeah.
and then just get lucky that it's he's gonna give it to you again.
I mean,
And-
if you toss out your DIYs, it's gonna be a matter of
You'd
time
Right.
before you
get-
come
I mean, it would
come
be
through them.
the worst, but
the stuff from Nintendo, they don't send out again unless
Okay.
it's a yearly thing they send. I think the DAL stuff you're not getting again unless you're playing another year.
Right.
The stuff
you're
from your
not-
mom, you have to play a whole nother year to get
also
those
from
things.
the plaques you get from the
Yeah.
academy.
eh.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, that's true. You can't get more of those.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
So be careful.
Yeah,
I
trash
didn't-
cans, they're scary.
I didn't know that's how trash cans function. Animal Crossing's interesting because some things do stuff and some things don't, and it just comes down to you pressing A on it
Yeah.
to find out,
Yep.
or
You're
hearing from
absolutely
a friend. I will purchase a trash can and save an island.
make sure you put up your ordinance so that bulk trash pickup is on like the last Thursday of every month.
That's true.
Oh, definitely.
And, you don't,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be really upset when I miss that day. I'm like, God, no, wait all
Yeah.
week again.
I am actually kind of a little bit unhappy with the ordinances because I have the late owl one or
Yeah.
the night owl one. It only moves it back by an hour. Instead of them
Yeah.
closing at 10, it's now 11. I'm like,
Ooh.
okay.
Cool.
You have higher expectations on who I am.
Yeah,
Dang.
like this, you said night owl. This is like evening owl. Come on.
In the other games, this store closed at 8 and they closed at 9. So like that extra couple hours made a huge for me.
Yeah,
that
no,
extra
yes.
couple hours made a huge
Oh,
difference.
the store you're working
Yeah,
at.
the store
Yeah.
like no, like the Nooks, like
The
to
Nook
do
store.
things
Okay,
at
okay.
Nooks.
Uh-huh.
So I when Brian was going through the orders, he goes, "What do these do?" And I'm like, it's been so long, I don't remember. And then we get to that one, I'm like, yeah, I really should do the late thing. And I felt the same way. The very next day, I'm like, oh,
It's an
but
hour.
I'm still playing at midnight. It's not open. Like I don't. Oh man.
I wish they would let you assign a time of when they could be open. Like, hey, I like for it to be open
can.
from like 10 to 1 in the morning.
You
know?
can. You just have to go into your Switch
Yes,
settings
Switch
and then
settings.
decide what
Yeah.
time it is. And then it's open the exact hours that
Do
you want.
you really think that is a good use of your time?
Although to be honest, like I play with enough to get the Nook shop open. But if I like always played between 11 and midnight, I wouldn't feel bad about like switching the time because
No,
that's,
agreed.
it's
Yeah,
the same.
yeah.
I used to do it
agree.
with my DS. I used to
Yeah.
have my DS a couple hours behind because when I got out of work, there was even with the night ordinance, it was not enough time to really do anything.
Nope.
So this is going to be interesting. What do we think about our collective Animal Crossing sandwich if we're just taking into consideration the 2.0 patch and the DLC? What kind of sandwich are we thinking?
Oh my
It's
God.
a lot. That sandwich has to
just
be
so much.
like multiple
gonna-
parts.
Right, I'm going to throw in tomato steak.
Yes, I agree.
I'm gonna say it's like one of those tea party tea trays of sandwiches.
Yes.
Where it's just so you were
Yeah.
expecting one sandwich and they just came out with this
There's like
whole
8 layers.
thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet. Then I'm going to throw cucumber. Cucumber
Cucumber
Yeah,
in there.
cucumber
on
sandwiches
there.
are on
Yep,
there.
yep.
I think tomato sandwiches are on there. Like a tomato, like basil mozzarella with some balsamic, something like that.
I feel like there would be a sandwich on there where the bread's meatloaf for some reason.
Yeah.
It's just cause.
What?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'd eat a
Just get a
meatloaf sandwich.
meatloaf and just cut an actual slice of
Because Animal
loaf.
Crossing has those things where it's like, I didn't know I needed this or I wanted this, but okay, it's there.
What do you put in between the loaf?
Chicken nuggets.
The meat meat slices.
Yeah.
You put chicken nuggets in between the meatloaf slices.
There's 2 meatloaf slices and you're putting chicken nuggets
correct.
into it?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there a sauce involved?
Spicy
Yes.
mayo sriracha.
What the hell is happening?
That
right.
sandwich is definitely captain because that's weird.
That is absolutely
It's a great sandwich.
hang on a second. So I had to look up this sandwich place that I actually went to because they do have a sandwich that I want to go ahead and say it's the Animal Crossing sandwich.
All right.
Okay.
It's called the Kryptonite.
Okay.
It's from a place called Ike's Lair in California. It has roast beef, pastrami, turkey, ham, salami, bacon, beard battered onion rings, jalapeno poppers, avocado, green pesto, mozzarella sticks, pepper jack cheese, fries.
Did you just explain their menu or a sandwich?
No, that is just their sandwich.
Yeah, and I think it has every animal from Animal Crossing in that sandwich.
It's definitely one of those sandwiches where they put it in front of you and you're like, yes. And then you go to pick it up and you're like, I don't. And then you're like, how
What
do
am
I put
I-
this in my mouth? I'll squish it. No, I'm just gonna open it and eat it piece by piece.
And then you go take a bite and all of the meat slides out.
Yeah, right to the other side.
You just get bread.
I don't think I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. Not because it's not good, but I would give it like a 4. It's not like blowing my mind. It's not the most fantastic thing I've played this year, but it was fun and I'm enjoying it. And it brought me back into Animal Crossing, so I'll give it a 4.
You get a
what
4?
do you guys think?
I like it. I'll agree with that. I'll give it a 4. I'm leaning more towards a 4.5, so I'm going to go 4.25. So, yep, that's where I'm going. So 4.25.
Joe's face.
I know. That's why I did it. Because I do like it a lot, and it did get me back into it. But it has not rekindled, for me at least. It has not rekindled
Right.
it. But the time that I have spent in it has, like, towards the end of when I was playing it originally, kind of felt like I was wasting time. Whereas this is like, oh no, I'm actually building towards something.
Yeah.
I'm not just sitting around fishing for the same fish I already have, So no, I like it a lot. I would give it a 4.5 or 4.25 because they definitely put a lot of time and work and effort into this.
It's all 5s for me.
All 5s?
They added cooking.
Yeah.
My DIYs are cooking based now.
That's right.
I'm in. That's all they had to do is give me another thing to hunt for and more food. Give me food in the game that I can eat now. I'm in. They got me. 5 out of 5.
Nice.
Try.
Yeah, I'm probably all 5s too. I can't really say because I haven't done the DLC. Like I literally got to the part in the DLC where you choose your outfit, and that's at least 3 hours for me. Like just that one decision.
Yep.
Was the moo
was
go
hard.
good with the stockings? So I can't really say, I guess, but the amount of fun I've had with the other expansion stuff on my island, like the cooking, making a farm, what it's done is I ran out of ideas for my island. I'm just not as scenically creative as you folks, so I just ran out of ideas of stuff to do. So the idea of like, hey, now I can make a farm, I got really into that. Then my vacation was filled with making a farm. Here's all these plaza and like tea party stuff that you can do, and I just kind of found more ideas of stuff for my island.
I love how you were like, yeah, I don't really like designing things. So instead of that, I just designed this entire outdoor farm area. And I created this outdoor kitchen and then did all this.
I like
I
that
need
you
to be-
added tea party and things like
need
that
to
in it,
be-
like for the farm.
With farm, yeah.
I am happy.
Not
I
tea
want to
party.
see this.
It's the plaza thing.
outdoor
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
there's
outdoor,
there's
the teacup things.
Teacup.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
and the
right.
duck thingy, which
It's
is
a
really
theme
cute.
park.
Plaza.
There's like a theme park thing you can
It's
do.
a
I guess
boardwalk.
maybe I will like the
Yeah.
DLC because I need to be spoon fed a little bit to get my scenic juices flowing. That's a weird way to say that.
And on to Hassel. Hassel, what? How many sandwiches?
Well, we're up to 18 and a half sandwiches
Okay.
together. I'm gonna give it another 4, mainly because I'm spiteful. Number 1.
It's all good.
Number 2. We have a group chat, and I feel like Troy. I feel like so far behind everybody else because of how creative our friend group is that I'm just like, oh man. But yeah, as of right now, it's a 4. It got me back into Animal Crossing. It's allowing me to do a lot of different things that I didn't think that I was going to be able to do in this Animal Crossing, and that's a huge surprise for me. So that
I
is
think this is
22 and a half.
Nice.
22.25.
Yes.
0.25 sandwiches.
Yeah, 0.25, which is perfect. That's the exact amount of sandwiches I thought I was getting when the DLC came out.
Yes.
Right.
Oh my gosh, this is so many sandwiches.
Yeah, that's how many came out on that tray. Was 22.25.
Ew, someone take a bite out of that one? Ew, what?
I was hungry. Man. I couldn't wait for it to sit down. I'm sorry.
Come on,
It's on me.
That's the pumpkin recipe.
Finish it.
Well, thank you everyone for sharing your Animal Crossing love, and that brings us to our news segment. Starting us off, Brian, give us some Fortnite news.
That's right. Fortnite Chapter 2 is coming to an end. and appropriately called The End is actually what it's called.
All right. Okay.
I can't believe they just put that out there, The one-time event is going to happen December 4th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that you're there if you want to experience the craziness that is the Fortnite one-time events.
Didn't they last time like go into space? Or there was like a black hole or something.
Oh yeah,
just
that was
stayed on the
multiples
screen,
ago. Yeah,
or something. And then like when it came back, there's just a tidal wave wall, and it was pretty exciting.
that was the end of Fortnite Chapter 1.
right. That's what I was trying to remember.
So this is
how
the
it-
end of Chapter 2,
yeah.
which I think Chapter 2 was like 8 different seasons. So who knows what this is going to
Those
be? It's going to be
live events
amazing.
are fun.
What if the whole world explodes and then just the words "thank you" come up, and then Fortnite doesn't turn back on? They were just like, no, that's it. That was the
So
story.
it's
we
just
wanted
like
to
roll
tell.
credits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're like, we already have all of the world's economy. We don't need it
Like,
anymore.
what?
Fortnite finds artistic integrity in the final hour.
What if it's the main guy from Fortnite? I don't know who. John Fortnite. I'm assuming it's his name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blonde guy, scarf.
Yeah. So John
Banana.
Fortnite is at a diner, and he's like waiting for his friends to come in, and then "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey starts playing, and then like right before something is about to happen, it just cuts to black, and it just goes Fortnite, and then just
I feel like
rolls
when it
credits.
happens, it's going to like cut away. And then when it cuts back, Ryan Reynolds is John Fortnite now. And he's in
Oh,
the
yeah.
real world.
Right.
And he's dancing the Orange Justice.
But for some reason, Chris Pratt's voicing him. It's coming
Yeah.
out of Ryan Reynolds, but it's Chris Pratt's voice. I don't know why.
That's because it'll be 2022 by then, and that's what the future looks like.
There
Yeah.
you go. That's
Oh,
what it is.
gotcha,
That's
yeah.
what it is.
That being said, I don't play Fortnite, but I love jumping into Fortnite for these like one-time live events. I am a fair weather. I'm like, I'm probably hated by the entire Fortnite community.
They
I just
probably-
come in and go, I was here. It's like, you didn't earn this. Doesn't matter. It's free.
They love you because you don't play, so you're just cannon fodder.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, easily.
That's exactly what it is. So yeah, that's what it is for Fortnite Chapter 2. December 4th, be there, or do something else. It's your time.
Right. Yeah. just-
That's how I sell
Brian.
things. You're welcome. I'm such a good promoter, y'all.
Oh, please let that be our podcast catchphrase. Listen to the Taste of Dragons, or don't. It's your time.
Yeah. Please keep Brian away from our advertisements.
And then now on to the zany. A Kirby song has been nominated for a Grammy. That's
yeah.
right. You see what I did
What?
there? It rhymes. It rhymes because, it's a song category. But anyways, what has been nominated is a jazz version of the song Meta Knight's Revenge from 1996's Kirby Superstar.
That's a great song.
And it's performed by the 8-Bit Big Band and Button Masher.
8-bit big band.
God.
8-bit big band. That is tough.
That is tough.
8-bit big band.
And it's actually been nominated for Best Arrangement, Instrumental, or A Cappella.
Hey, man. Hats off to
Wow.
Kirby. Well done.
Yeah, and
Nice.
the bands that are playing it, because that's a banger of a song.
Let's get more video game music into freaking the Grammy Awards.
Yeah, and it's a jazz instrumental as well, so it's got to just be amazing. So yeah, definitely listen to it. I think they have it on YouTube and it's on Apple and stuff like that. So download it. It's
If you
great.
just say 8-bit big band a couple of times, your phone will automatically start showing you things for
That's
it.
true.
There you go.
You're right.
Say it
You're
8
right.
times fast, and then it'll happen.
Yeah, Google's always listening, and it'll
always.
pull it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you say it 8 times fast, it's going to end up looking up like 8-bit back bend
Eight-
or something like that. It's like, and then now Sony has been granted a patent for plate covers for the PS5. That's a lot of P's. I didn't realize that when I was writing that
Yeah, I
sentence.
didn't know you were going to be Dr. Seuss in this episode.
know either.
Brian.
I-
Big band.
So
PlayStation.
wait,
portable
alliteration aside, what's PlayStation doing?
So the plate covers, on the PlayStation 5,
Right.
It's white on the sides. You can actually remove those covers and you could put new things on there. So they got the patent for that. So now they can probably start releasing stuff for it.
So,
they
like-
can stop suing indie 3D printers for trying to make the faceplates, and they can make their own faceplates. So everyone in the world can get the black faceplates that they've been waiting for, and then they can start selling stuff like Spider-Man and Horizon Zero Dawn, and
I can get my
Ratchet
mustard
and Clank
yellow.
and-
I
yeah.
feel like
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
You
feel
said
like-
that, but part of me was like, yes.
Oh man, it backfired.
Oh, mustard yellow. Mm.
You
like
didn't just say
70s?
yellow. You said mustard
I
yellow.
just said
That's a
mustard
great
yellow.
color. My shoes are that color right now. So
Gosh.
like,
My bad, y'all. I thought mustard yellow was like the panned.
You're right.
Color. That's
it
my
was, but we've reclaimed it recently.
Okay,
Yeah,
we
I
looked
think-
back at the 70s and said, all right.
Yeah. If you had said either one of those words separately, I would be like, but together. Yeah, I'm
All
down
right.
for that.
Okay,
I'm down.
word.
Taste of Dragon's color theory.
So what this will mean, though, is that new colors can be released as accessories, so you don't need to buy a whole new console if you want, like, a Pokemon cover. I mean, not that they would release one, but, like with other systems where you have to buy an entirely brand new console if you do want something that's colorful or different.
Yeah.
why did you have to say Pokemon cover? I didn't want that until you said it out loud.
Now you do,
and now
don't
I
you?
want like a Sobble cover for my
For your
Are-
PlayStation 5.
5.
Are they going to release like plate covers that come with a controller is the question. So like if I get a Horizon, is it going to be the plate covers and a Horizon controller, or is it just going to be like plate covers and then the controllers?
I feel like Horizon's too soon for it.
probably.
But I feel like by this time next year, they're probably. Oh man, that would be so cool
I
to
could
be
see
able to
that.
get like plate cover controller. I
Like
was
a bundle?
Or yeah, like the game
Come with the
plate
game.
covers and the controller.
good.
I would buy an Assassin's Creed one, like
Oh,
a
yeah.
Viking design for the
Yeah.
Part of me wants to be like, well, I think PlayStation may be doing this because they saw the marketability of that, because I have seen people online, like on Etsy and stuff like that, start going, hey, just send me your plates and I can paint them for you. And I've seen some really cool ones.
Oh, yeah.
And now PlayStation is just going, you know what? We should have done that in the first place.
Also, Microsoft has their custom controller, which is, I imagine, really profitable. I've seen a lot of really cool ones. And I think this is PlayStation's version of like, hey, make it customized, do your own thing.
Yeah, this is their version of like with the Xbox 360, they had the faceplates that you could do, and they had a whole bunch of different ones. Different companies were making them. It actually did really well. I had a custom faceplate as well for my Xbox. So yeah, I think this is just one of those types of things where, because their shells come off really easily, the little side pieces. So
I do hope they eventually relax on the like Etsy printers. Like, come on,
Yeah.
let people make pieces of plastic, man. You don't need that money that bad.
it's Sony; they need all the money. That's
Yeah, I know.
what it is.
They're hurting.
And then from Sony onto Microsoft, they had their 20th anniversary of Xbox this last week. And with it, they released a whole bunch of different things for it. They released the Halo Infinite multiplayer early before the actual game, and it's free. So if you have an Xbox or if you have a PC, you can play it, and it's free. And then they released like an interactive museum on a website. So you can go through the years of different things.
That's
And one of the things that was really fun is that they included the letter from when they went to try to buy Nintendo in 1999. They had a sit-down meeting with at least two of the people at Nintendo. It was like their chief hardware guy and then the person who was in charge of it. And they're like, hey, listen, we want to acquire you. And apparently they were like laughed at for like the entire hour-long meeting.
guys, the solitaire people are trying to get into games. Let's check
The
this out.
Americans want to buy us, the Japanese company. Sure, yeah. We're really hurting for money right now.
Humor being what it is, Nintendo started as a solitaire company.
That's
Real
why
cards.
They did. They
That's
did.
what's actually really funny.
That's why they were laughing at
Well,
them.
yeah, they
right.
were like, they're still at this solitaire state and they want to purchase
Yeah.
us.
Right?
Yeah.
No.
Get back to
No.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool that they would even like release something that's kind of embarrassing for Microsoft to even have that. Then another thing that they did was they released a conference that they had, or a little sit down with all the people that were involved with the original Xbox. And
This past week?
yeah,
or so?
and it was moderated by Reggie
Reggie
Fils-Aimé.
Fils-Aimé. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm terrible with names,
all right.
but yeah, Reggie Fils-Aimé. There we go.
Yeah, former president
Nintendo.
or big wig over
CEO?
at Nintendo.
He was the president of
President?
Nintendo of America.
There we go.
Okay.
And so
The father of the Wii, the face at least
yeah.
for American Wii.
Face of the DS, I think the.
Yeah, he was
He's
definitely
the
the
face of a lot
DS.
of
Yeah.
the
DS.
consoles.
Oh, DS.
But it was really interesting because like he's like starts off like, yeah, I also don't know why I'm here, but here we go. And he's here moderating and hosting this thing of all these other Xbox people, and like throughout the thing he just keeps on throwing in and the DS as well. And, like, oh yeah, and also the Wii. Like he was just throwing in these Nintendo things, just like, why are you here, my man?
You tell me.
But one of the things that was cool is that he didn't
That's
start
great.
at Nintendo until I think like 2005 or something like that, or
Okay.
early mid 2000s. But he was like, I actually had an Xbox. I didn't have a GameCube. I had an Xbox as to play, and I was like, oh, that's actually really cool.
Right.
So as a consumer, you were like,
it's
that.
nice to see like the figureheads of these different consoles that you identify so. They're like ingrained with that brand to be like, oh right, you're
They're
a
people.
person, you're not a brand.
Yeah.
You play all these games. You actually want a community that's less, separated.
And it's nice to know that he actually plays games. That it's not just like
Yeah.
the enthusiasm is for the purpose of making money. It's like, no, I genuinely like
I like
games.
this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think that will do it for the news this week.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian. And with that, we have a super special surprise for all of you today. For the first time since 2019, the Taste of Dragons has a real live guest. Joining us from the Royal Chessman Action and Stage Combat Troupe is none other than the Red Knight himself, local legend and friend of the podcast, Rick Shellene.
Oh, great. We know it's Red Knight from now on. Hey.
Hey, Rick. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Wow, a person. I can't.
In our house.
It's ridiculous.
It's not remote. It's not via remote.
No.
We're in a whole new world.
Welcome to Zoom.
We could reach
Yeah.
out and touch him if we wanted to, with his consent, obviously.
Obviously, yes.
Sure.
Rick also went through several health screenings.
Oh, yes.
We did the
Sure, take my word for it.
the back of the hand check on the forehead.
Back of the hand check on the forehead.
Always worked for my mom.
It did. Right? I don't feel close enough to him to do the kiss on the forehead. I mean, that's I don't
That's
know.
a little personal.
Yeah,
That's a little
yeah.
personal.
Right.
Maybe next week. Maybe next time we see him.
Check back in with the CDC on that one.
Yeah.
That's what our puppy's for, is the face kisses.
Oh,
She
yes.
she says he's fine.
Okay.
But before we dive into the stage combat, video games, and general weaponry, we have a very important question to put to you, Rick. We here at the Taste of Dragons, we rate our video games on a scale of sandwiches. 1 sandwich being very low, and 5 sandwiches being the most excellent of life's experiences. Rick, what is your favorite sandwich?
Wow, that tough question right at the opening.
I know, right?
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
I mean, are
philosophical.
we
We want to get to
talking
know
about-
you.
I mean, are we talking about like pre-made sandwiches? Who's it made by? Am I starving?
No.
Because if I'm starving, any sandwich will be a 5.
I mean,
to be honest.
We're very pro sandwich here, so obviously any sandwich is a good sandwich. But for you, like if you were in heaven and someone handed you a plate and it was the sandwich, what sandwich would that be?
Rick, I want you to understand that by you just saying the first sentence, you are a man after my heart already. Because any sandwich will do, literally.
Yeah, we're both from Jersey, so we got it. I don't know. That's a good question. Probably, I would actually say Quiznos. I used to get a chicken bacon ranch. And I'm so sad that they all got taken over by whatever that other place is. We won't mention them.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's usually what I went for, or usually with avocado on the top of
Okay,
that.
so we got a chicken
I like
bacon.
layers.
We got a chicken bacon sandwich. Now I know Quiznos is known for being toasty.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
sometimes when I go there, I sometimes do double toast. Is that a thing, or is that just me?
No,
That's just
that's a
you.
thing.
That's a thing.
I mean, it's a thing. Okay. It's a thing. It shouldn't be, but it is a thing.
I like that crunch. I want the sandwich to bite back.
I haven't been to a Quiznos in I want to say 10 years.
I mean, are they like all closed now?
Yeah, I haven't
lot-
seen
I
a
think they're all
Quiznos in
closed.
10
I think
years.
most of them are closed. So I think we drove past one, I think last year. So, no, I'm sorry, 2 years ago when we could drive. I think we did drive past one. We're like, is that a Quiznos? We just ate lunch. But yeah, I think there's like a couple around, but there's
Yeah.
nowhere near what there used to be.
Yeah, I know some other sub company took them over. Not Jersey Mike's. What's the other one? with the
Firehouse?
torpedoes. No.
Oh, torpedoes.
I can't think of the name now. It's gonna bug me.
Well, it doesn't matter
matter.
because
Yeah.
we don't care about
Moving
that
on.
stuff.
Yeah.
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 Anyhow.
Boo, Jersey. Wait, no.
I'm confused.
But that is a stellar sandwich.
Yeah.
I must say.
I like it.
But silliness aside, Rick is joining us today to talk about weaponry and fighting in video games. So Rick, as a member of the Royal Chessman Action Stage Combat Troupe, you have performed at Renaissance festivals and speakeasies all over Florida. Your company, founded in 1978, specializes in live steel stage fighting. Tell us, how did you get involved with the Royal Chessman?
I played D&D.
Oh, that's
Get
a
outta
great
here.
intro.
So funny enough, so I have a big background. I martial arts for about 20, 25 years. And then I played D&D and I found some friends on Orange Anime, an old anime group. And we're like, we started playing D&D with them. And we did that for about 2 months, me and a friend. And they said, we can't play this weekend. We're going to go do stage combat. Excuse me, what are you doing? Can I come?
Wait, are you doing what we're doing right now, but in real life? Like, is that what you're doing?
So yeah, it was definitely interesting because just out of the blue, we decided to join them and start doing this thing. I thought it was a group that traveled and, you had to have acting background and be without a job apparently. But no, it was a very casual thing. We started training at the park nearby and went from there. I had to unlearn a lot of stuff because of being a martial artist. You're not supposed to hurt people, apparently. So you have to learn to pull your punches.
Right.
There's different techniques than actual fighing.
Yeah, and with all the stage combat, you're not actually hitting anybody. And what was there? Wasn't there was it the guild that had the professional stuntman who got into a fight and wasn't able to hit anything because they only know how to do stage combat?
That's
All of his
amazing.
punches were like
That's
1
great.
inch.
Yeah. Yeah, the hot neighbor. Yeah. He throws a bunch of punches, hits nothing.
Can you guys
So-
imagine if like a group of like stage fighters got into like a barroom brawl? It's just like not
It
allowed
would
to
look
hit anything,
great.
or just it would look amazing.
It would look
But It's
amazing.
just nobody getting hurt. It's the most fun barroom brawl.
The cops show up. They're like, "What are we breaking up? I don't get it.
I don't
don't-
understand
Do
what's
we
going
pay
on.
to get in? It's $5 minimum, 2 drinks? What's going on?
All the furniture would be messed up.
So I have a D&D related question. Rick, do you remember the first character that you ever rolled?
Oh, jeez. Actually, when I started I'm old. I'm really old. I actually started with the pamphlets for D&D, which were like the first things they ever came out for. They even made books. I think the first character I made after that, I made an elf, which was a class.
Right.
Yes,
It wasn't
was.
a race. It was just class.
You were
So
an
you were
elf,
a
yeah.
fighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So ever since that, I've always played elves. So yeah, that's my first character. After that, I think I played a cleric because no one else wanted to do it.
Hey, hashtag cleric life right over here.
Yeah, right?
Rick gets it.
Yeah.
Someone's got to do it.
That's right.
So you channel all of your frustration of having to play the cleric into the live stage combat on the Sunday.
No, that's usually afterwards when I have to like bandage them up and whatever.
Oh.
Don't listen what I tell them to do.
How long have you been with the Chessman?
I've been with Chessman for about 14 years, actually.
Awesome.
Which I just hit
Fantastic.
me the other day. Like, it's been over a decade. Oh, God.
So we've been seeing you perform for quite some time,
Yeah.
and I normally see you fighting with a sword.
Yes.
But how many different weapons do you think you've fought with over the years?
I'm usually the go-to guy for broadsword. I've done rapier. I've done dagger. I've done a lot of unarmed. I've done shield bashing. That's always fun.
I like you reminiscing about shield
Yeah.
bashing.
Oh, shield bashing. Ooh.
Oh, I've got one. Yeah, I've got ruins from that. Even though it's stage combat, it's supposed to be safe, a lot of times people will not pay attention. And they will
Yeah.
actually clip you in the skull.
Oh, boy.
That's always fun.
Getting clipped in the skull is such a phrase that I
Yeah.
never want to have to utter about myself.
Oh, try twice. During the same show.
Oh no!
I've been clipped in the skull.
And you're not talking about a haircut. You're talking about
Oh,
stage
there's a haircut. Yeah.
Even if it was a haircut, that's horrifying. I don't want to go to that barber who clips you in the skull. No, thank you.
So being that you've done a lot of combat, I imagine that you look at like combat in media a little differently.
Yeah. I mean, I always looked at it differently. Having a heavy martial arts background with Taekwondo, Shotokan, so on, whatever different forms, and weapons too. I looked at fights one way because you see the way they extend. You see someone throw a kick, like in John Wick. You see them extend their leg all the way. Would they actually hit someone? No. So you have that mentality of martial arts versus movie fighting.
Yeah.
Then when I got in stage combat, it changed even more. Because now I like watch a lot of movies. Like one of my favorite movies, I liked a lot of old swashbuckler movies, like Errol Flynn, and I watched Captain Blood, and oh my God, Errol Flynn sucks. That was my hero, who I thought was so awesome. He was awful, and he admitted it. I watched an interview later on, and he talked about how bad he was when he first started. And Basil Rathbone, who played Sherlock Holmes in some movies, did all the work. He sold the crap out of that fight just to make Errol Flynn look good. And you start noticing things like that. And then other movies, you start seeing how people start pulling their punches, the difference of targeting. I'm going to talk some about Star Wars.
Hit us.
Right, gloves are coming off.
Yeah. So I got used to seeing movie fights and everything. And you look at targeting, and when you usually see an actual more realistic fight, you're targeting like the arms, the legs, the head, the neck, so on.
Right.
They're within range. They can actually hit that. You watch Star Wars fights. I love them to death. Even the video games. I love the video games. And you see them attacking the saber.
Yeah.
Right.
For what? Like, bad saber. Like, dude.
Maybe this is the time it's going to cut through. You never know.
Well, because you need to get the zzz sound. You need to make sure you get
exactly.
that. You know, you can't
I
get
think
it if you're
what
not
I think
attacking
what
the
Rick is
lightsaber.
trying to say is that every single Star Wars fight could have just been solved in like less than 30 seconds.
Actually, yeah.
So like, don't
Yeah,
aim at the saber. Just aim somewhere else.
I can't guarantee that if you gave me a lightsaber, I wouldn't want to make the like sound enough to be like, okay, I'm gonna kill you, but like first.
Oh, yeah,
First, right?
in.
Well, they did actually have that problem. I forget which actor it was, but when they were
Ewan
doing,
McGregor.
Ewan McGregor, that's what it was. He
Yeah.
kept going, choo, like he was making
Yeah,
the,
no, yeah, yeah.
he was making all the sounds, and they kept on having to tell him,
Mr. McGregor, could you not?
"You're still making the sounds. This is take 30." And I think,
Mr. McGregor, we will take the lightsaber away.
yeah.
Please stop.
And then I think they edited eventually. They just had to edit it out. They're just whatever. You're just gonna
like,
continue to do it.
Nothing stops the Kenobi.
Cut. We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
You mentioned a little bit about video games
Yeah.
with the Star Wars. Do you think that there's like a video game that has maybe not realistic, but close to realistic fighting in it?
That's
I heard the no coming out.
I don't want to say no. The problem is with video games, it's like you only have so many movements you can make with the joystick or the gamepad or keyboard or whatever your system is. So you can't improvise.
Yeah,
like
right.
you can't.
Right.
You know,
there's
like you gotta
limitations.
learn the moves. Like having a movie or a game where you fight in a certain way would be great if it was realistic. For Honor is actually a good game that actually does
Love that
well
game.
for that.
Yeah, it's all positioning and where you're placing your sword distance.
Offensive, defense stance, so on
yeah.
and so forth. That how you defend.
And a lot of watching your opponent.
Now, yeah, like real combat.
Like real
You
combat.
tend to gauge your opponent. But I will admit that I'm also that person that will pick Chun-Li in Street Fighter and put you in the corner and don't let you move. So, you know, you got to take advantage of what you got. But yeah, there's not a lot of games I would say that were realistic, but even stage combat is not realistic.
I feel like the funniest thing for me with especially like sword combat or weapon combat in video games versus like when I think I've gone to a couple of your picnics where I've tried out some of the Chessman's swords and you guys taught me a few things. And one big difference is the weight of these weapons.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in video games, you would think that it's just cotton candy. You're just waving around these people just throwing out these combos, you know, it's 3-button combos.
Yeah.
And then you actually hold a real broadsword and you're like, okay, all right, well.
Oh, it's only a 3-handed cloudbuster. I can wield this no problem. Yeah, no,
You see
that's not
Cloud
how it works.
flipping it around his back.
Someone in full plate mail doing somersaults in a video game.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, you'd get down, but you wouldn't get back up.
That's what makes him a soldier first class, all right? That's the difference between soldier first class and you, Troy, all right?
Yeah, all right.
Wow.
There's a few differences, okay? I'll discuss that off air, Cloud.
So we've touched on Cloud Sword, which we all agree is a little on the extra side.
Yes.
But if you could have any video game weapon to fight with, realistic or no, if it existed in reality, you can have it, what would you want?
Oh. I don't know. Gunblades have always attracted me a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly, lightsabers would be first, but
Yes,
that's
yes.
going to be.
Why not
but,
both?
But well, it's a possibility.
A
But I like the
lightsaber
materia.
blaster. Oh.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, Troy brings this up because we talked about this earlier. Why hasn't there been a lightsaber blaster?
Has there been?
There was.
Yeah, I was going to say there
Was?
was. Yeah.
Oh,
Rebels.
Actually,
It was in
I forget his
Clone
name,
Wars. I mean, Rebels. Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I think it was also in the extended universe in the books
Okay,
as well.
good.
Yeah.
So that's where they got the idea in quotation marks. But yeah, I think it was in Rebels
Yeah,
where they actually put it on the.
And when you start talking about the books, you also have people that use both lightsaber and blaster at the same time. That happened.
Oh,
but
I like that too.
Doesn't exist anymore because they got rid of extended universe, but now they brought it back. I don't know what they're doing. I know what they're doing, but they don't know what
They
they're doing.
don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Come on.
So your ideal is lightsaber with a gun or blaster and lightsaber? How's your gun blade Star Wars style
I kind of
going?
like dual wielding, so that wouldn't be a bad idea of having both a gun and a lightsaber.
All right.
You get the
I
range,
like
but also
that.
the up close.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
so
did mention
good.
materia for a second there. Were you thinking about adding some materia to this?
Well, so some of the gunblades have materia in some of them.
oh,
Yeah.
So you have the actual revolver that you put the materia in, so you have different blasting types and element types.
different elements.
Yeah. So this gives a little variability for that. Also, the fact of having a physical blade versus an energy blade. I know a lot of people hate on it, but I love Sword Art Online. Now some Sword Art Online, for the anime, for those that don't know, some of it's really good as far as like the thought process of having an online game, but then they kind of fall apart halfway through first season for some reason. We won't go into fan service or any of the really bad thoughts. The fact that he can actually get into the system, but does he eject everyone out? No. He just, but anyhow. But yeah, that thought of having both physical blades versus energy weapons, there would be a difference. Like Troy was saying, like the weight of the blade is different. Having a lightsaber, the only way of the lightsaber is just the actual saber, the pommel
hilt.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The energy blade has no weight. You know, there might be some
Ooh.
inertia, but it won't be the same.
Yeah.
I like the idea of that.
Yeah.
It's like the sword fighting without having to have all the muscles.
Yeah.
I'm in. Finally.
Question though.
Yeah.
I know we've asked this of a lot of us. We everybody knows. What is your favorite video game of all time?
Oh my gosh. That's a
wow.
big one,
Hey,
Brian.
hey, listen,
Dang,
Rick-
just try. No. Gosh.
Rick, mind you, that's like picking out your favorite movie. That's like picking out like your favorite Beatles Beatle. Like we know it's gonna be a difficult conversation. Like I can't pick my favorite video game.
Yeah, it's a hard call because like I'm an old school gamer all the way back from like Atari 2600 before there was the 2600.
Yep.
So, you know, I have my place in my heart for adventure.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very simple game. It was really easy to figure out, but I kept playing that thing over and over again. I knew where the secret Easter eggs were, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, I think probably the game I played the most and like the best is probably down to two.
Okay.
One is Skyrim.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
We
I
get-
think
that's
I think you
very
just pick
valid.
up the controller and you've automatically put 100 hours into the game. You don't even know you did.
Yeah.
It's just happened.
Well, it's also the fact that I would play that game, I would totally skip the main storyline.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
run around and build up my strength and just punch dragons to death because I hadn't done it yet. Why not?
Hey.
And I also love sniping. That's what was the big thing. The other game was probably Final Fantasy 11, the MMO.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I played that for years and years until basically they almost shut it down. But no, they came back.
They did.
But then I already moved on to other things.
Gotcha.
Maybe one more other game I would have for my top three is probably Save Heroes, another MMO.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That one went away when the company basically shut down, said, we're done. We're going to shut the game down. You've got like 3 months, finish up the game.
Yeah.
The great thing about that game was the community. I really liked the community. I played World of Warcraft and some of those other games, but the community always brought me back to Save Heroes. So much so that they've actually restarted the game. So
really?
there are several servers out there run by the community,
Nice.
which actually some of the developers are part of, which we're not supposed to talk about. So yeah, there's several of the developers that actually are part of the community now because I mean, if the game company was going to support, they were going to support it.
Yeah, one of our D&D partners, he's really big into City Heroes, and the way he talks about where it is now, where it's this huge community-focused platform, is it's like he's talking about another D&D. The role play that he is doing within City Heroes is so deep and real that I find it just fascinating and totally awesome.
I definitely feel like as someone who's played MMOs before, there's something definitely really special about like finding that MMO that calls to you.
Yeah.
There's something different between like, oh, I played that game and I beat it, and then like, this is the thing that I do, twice a week for 4 years.
Yeah,
or something like that. Yeah.
I exist in this game versus
Yeah. Are you level 50? Well, yeah, but I'm in their character.
I was level 50 years ago.
And another character. And another character. I have problems with main characters.
So I do have one final question for you. It's kind of a scenario, if you will.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right. So Troy is charging at you from across the room. He is armed with a coconut and 2 wooden spoons. How do you defend yourself?
Well, I just step aside. Never confront the attack. Just step out of the way.
My coconut spoon plan has been foiled.
I mean, you can always pull charisma into it. Like, hey, what are you doing with those spoons in that coconut? Hey, nice coconut, buddy. And then
I'm going to juggle these.
Yeah, there's 3 items.
It's already been disarmed. He's already juggling them.
He's lost sight of you. He just starts eating the coconut with the spoons.
Don't miss the water.
He knows Troy too well. Very easily distracted.
You start talking about video games. I'm like, oh yeah, I played that. That's awesome. Yeah, what'd you do?
Hey, can you put them together?
Yeah, you'll definitely hear me coming. It won't be a stealthy approach that I have coming at you.
Do you have like the 2 spoons like hooked up, like where it makes the musical instrument?
Like
Yeah, the castanets. Yeah.
Rick, I just want to play some music. What are you doing?
Come on, what are you doing?
Put down the spoon. Put down the spoon.
So follow-up question, has anyone ever attacked you with a coconut?
A drive-by coconutting?
I'm trying to think. Maybe. There might be a possibility, actually. I think someone did throw a coconut at me once.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today, Rick. Please tell the listeners where they can find you and the Royal Chessman.
We are based out of Hollywood, Florida. We practice in the park every Sunday from 1 to 5. Two-Way Park. That's right around the corner from here, actually.
Yeah, Hollywood, Florida.
That's what we do every Sunday, except unless we have a fair or holidays, or I don't feel like going.
Do you have any events coming up that you'd like to plug?
Yes, actually. Well, obviously we have Camelot time that this comes out, but the weekend after Thanksgiving, that Sunday from 2 to 5, we'll be having a membership picnic. Partially to celebrate that we're done after 3 weeks run, and also to recruit any new members that everyone's interested in what we do.
Very nice.
And then the week after that, we actually have the park, Two-Way Park, is having a 40th anniversary.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so we'll be out there taking pictures with the stocks and putting people in stocks because it's fun. I think they want us to do something too.
All right, wonderful.
That's fantastic. Yeah, go and look up the Royal Chessman. I think you guys do have Instagram as well. You're on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram. We have a website, royalchessman.com.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, go on there, check them out. They're awesome. Their shows are fun. They're funny, and it's family friendly. We saw your show a couple of weeks ago, and I would love the fact that you have like awesome like kids who can fight.
Oh yeah, one of those
like
kids,
this
my
9-year-old
assistant
girl, I saw her and I was afraid.
Oh yeah, she's
when I saw her take the stage with her sword. It was it's remarkable what you all do.
Oh, thanks so much.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Unfortunately, that brings us to the end of this week's episode. Troy, plug the social media.
Are you looking for more Taste of Dragons content? Well, check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, or Twitch for more discussions, more video games, and most of all, more sandwiches. So many sandwiches. We are at Taste of Dragons everywhere, and we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, Troy.
You're welcome.
As always, my name is Amanda.
My name is Troy.
I'm Brian.
I'm Hassel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are
The
Taste of Dragons.
Have a good week, everybody.
Later.
Bye, everybody.
I want a sword. Can I get a sword?
Ching, ching,
I want a
ching.
sword.
No,
Sounds like I can get a shield.
Yeah, you can be my shield. I'll be your
Remember
sword.
last time? Remember last time?
No.
What? Oh, gosh.
Was it that bad?
Yup.
Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast, a podcast for everyone's taste.